Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
where exposure brings strength. Hi.
Well, hello there. Lovely.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I mean, as good as I can be over here. You know,
Right?
yeah, I'm plugging away, plugging along, getting some much needed rest that I needed for the last few days. But yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Rest is important.
yes. I didn't feel well. That's why I was resting. But I
Mm,
think it
okay.
is what it is, right? It is what it is. Bring on the menopause. Yeah.
Oh, girl, don't even get me started on that topic. I've been in menopause for years already.
You.
Not fun.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, you have to really enjoy your youth when you're young. Like when you're in like your 20s or even like your early 30s, like you just don't realize how things are
listen, my head
changing.
still says I am 25 and I am
Uh-huh.
fine. That's what my head says. That's what my heart says. That's what my brain says, you
I
know.
tell you, it's
So
crazy.
I got to keep my head staying in that mindset. Like I cannot
Yeah,
go down
absolutely.
the almost 50 road. Like I got to wait. I am not going to admit to that shit. Not yet.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong being a 50 club. I'm there.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I like my mind to stay in the 25
Yeah,
mode,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Listen, you're as young as you feel. Age is nothing but a number. I think the most important thing and what I kind of wanted to, chat it up with you about is really the importance of taking care of nourishing our bodies and taking care of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
on every level, from
Yeah.
nutrition to some form of exercise. It's just very important. I can tell you, um, I would even say in the last year. So, you know that I was doing a lot of excessive exercising through a boot camp in my
Mm.
gym last
Yeah.
March.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, COVID happened, everything shut down, and then things started. Um, they were doing the best that they can to deliver, um, these classes, which
At
was
home. Yeah.
online, right? So
Mm-hmm. Right.
obviously, I haven't done any of that. It's over a year. There was just no way, and I think with me having COVID too, that really hasn't done me any favors because my energy levels are super low and I have all this fatigue that I still
Mm-hmm.
kind of wrestle with. But anyhow, having said that, you get tired of being tired. And one of the things that I'm finding, just I'm feeling more tired than usual. I don't know if that's happening with you too. And I'm like, I don't, it's okay to be off here and there, but it's starting to be like a consistent feeling. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this just can't be.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing too. The humidity here in the 90s and the humidity doesn't help. That makes you
And the
even
allergy
worse,
season.
right? And the
Allergy season.
allergies and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So it's been like weeks of crap. Like,
It has been.
feeling like crap.
It
Yeah.
has been. And so for me, I'm like, oh my God, I can't. So anyhow, I think that I know for myself, personally speaking, I've fallen in that rabbit hole, like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired. It is what it is. Like I'm tired. I don't have the energy, but like I have to like force myself. So now I realize that what's happening in me is that my mind and mental muscle is like non-existent. It's very weak. And I know that when my mental muscle has strength, I can do all things. That's just
Yeah.
that's just how I operate.
The
And so
mental
my
muscle.
yes, that mental
The
muscle.
mental muscle.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man, gotta feed your brain. And I'm really big about brain because, obviously, my mom's living with dementia and
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
everything related to the brain, that's dementia. And so for me, I'm like, now, like, okay, I have low energy levels. So now I'm all about trying to incorporate foods that are going to give me good energy and anything that I can fuel myself with. And of course, incorporate daily activity
Mhm.
because we know that you feel good. It doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be strenuous, like a boot camp, even if it's a 20-minute walk or
Yeah,
standing in
yeah.
place. So
That's where I'm failing. Yeah. That's
that's
where I'm
where I'm at.
failing.
What do you mean you're failing? You're not a failure. You
Well,
don't fail.
I'm failing at the, get off your ass for 20 minutes a day.
Well,
That's where I'm
yeah, I
failing.
mean
And I know it. It's not like, my mind muscle is in order. And I know that I have to do it. It's just doing it.
yeah,
That ends up,
that's the hardest part. I mean, for me, I
yeah.
find that when it's
If I
something
could,
for myself, like I'll give you an example. I think it's really, and I think a lot of people can identify with this. But I think we know ourselves best. So let's be clear on that. We know how we
mhm,
operate. We know how to self motivate.
mhm,
We know ourselves,
mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
that's one. And I know what works and what doesn't work for me.
Right.
And I know the things that when I fall out of line in these practices, I know I'm
Mhm.
heading towards, just
Yeah.
not a good place. And
Yeah.
so I
Right.
know I have fallen off a lot of things. It's not even about the nutrition or the exercise. That's just a portion of it. But I've fallen off meditation practices, self-care practices, a lot of practices that I do that really sustains me, kind of, gears me up. And I
Mhm.
require that because it's how I show up in my day and in my life. So I can't, present on a webinar if I don't have any of these things like in
Mhm.
place. It's
Yeah.
gonna it's gonna show, right?
Yeah.
And anyhow, so I started to get back with the basics, but I think it's the hardest part I find for me, and I'd love to hear, kind of like some of your challenges too. But for me, the knowing the things that I kind of fell off from, and
Mhm.
then like, okay, when am I going to start? When's the starting day? And it's always like I have a zillion and one reasons why I can't just devote 20 minutes to myself. So I
Mhm.
just started yesterday. I will say this, just started yesterday, and I'm like, enough. That's it. No more. So when I get up, I take, I do my routine, then I go to my porch. I remove myself from my home, inside my home. I go to the porch. I take a journal. I take a book. I put a timer on.
Mhm.
I can afford 25 minutes. And it could be whatever book I'm reading, or it could be anything. It could be meditation, whatever. It doesn't have to be the same thing. But I know I need to start my day like that, or I am
Mhm.
just going to continue on this like hamster wheel, which I have no interest in being on that wheel. So I have to say, I feel, I feel a difference. I feel a little more calm. And going back to some of the things that you do, Andrea, I started my gratitude journal book as of yesterday.
Mm.
So I jotted down what I'm grateful for in the morning, whatever reflections happened, you know, the day before or in that moment. And I haven't done journaling in gratitude very long time. And I actually am a part of a really great group called Soul Care with Barb Klein. She was one of
Mhm.
our guests.
Mhm.
And we meet weekly. And it's just such a great group because, we all kind of come with different, we're working on ourselves in different areas. And we kind of just like, if like I like something that you said, I might say, wow, Andrew, I like that. Then I want to start doing that myself. And so I'm getting back to the basics and, it feels good. But I think the most important part for me is really increasing those energy levels and and really recognize when I'm emotionally eating. I'm a stress eater. Like I'm stressed about
Mhm.
everything these days, and I'll just grab whatever. So
Mhm.
like instead of choosing the right thing that, would give me energy, would be the right thing. No, that's not interesting to me. So I think it's just like really conditioning my mind. And so I'm kind of there. That's like my where I'm at. And I hate that. I dislike, I don't want to use the word
Mhm.
hate. I dislike when I am on a path of habits and I fall out of it. And
Yeah.
that I dislike that because it's like we all know how much it takes to make those accomplishments and those milestones, and then to have to start all over again. It's like, oh my God, why did you stop? So, but I am learning to
I
get
think everybody takes a detour, right? Everybody takes a detour. Some take a detour longer than others for reasons. I think for you, I know what's going on, right? With after COVID. So you're having a lot of medical issues after COVID
yeah.
for 6 months now. So that detour is a little bit longer than some other people that, like, for example, myself, um, I was, I'm a decent eater. I eat, I'm
Good.
not
You
eating I
actually
don't eat red
eat very
meats.
well.
Like I haven't eaten red meat in over 3 years. Um, I, I try to eat everything gluten free. I do, sometimes I fall off here and there with that, but the Easter candy I hid in the basement, I shouldn't say that loud in case my son hears. But the Easter candy, I'm still randomly grabbing a piece of that because it's still there. So I didn't eat the whole friggin' box, but I do every once in a while, I'll go grab something. And when it's gone, like it's gone. Like I will not restock. When it's gone, it's gone. So for me, I'll fall off here and there for that. But other than that, I try to stay on. I don't really have a lot of cravings. I feel like every
It's
once in a
good.
while, but that's because I've committed to like really eating healthy, with with my protein shakes and with my banana,
Mhm.
my spinach, my avocados, I have eggs, and then, I'll eat gluten-free toast or I'll eat vegetables with rice, but I'm, I've tried to stay on. So I don't, the cravings come and go, but that detour for me, the detour happens with the food, the detour
Yeah.
happens. And then I come back on the road and then I skid off the road a little bit. I come back on. Um, for me, that's kind of where I am with food, so I think that the detour takes, sometimes you just go on a longer detour depending on what's happening. Some people break an ankle, right? And they can't work out for a while. Some people fall ass backwards out of a hot tub and they almost break their wrist. And
Girl,
those things happen.
don't
I
even
mean,
start that.
um, but I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I just
Yeah.
think that but consistency for working out has always been a struggle for me. Always,
Oh, me too.
always.
I mean, I was only consistent when I was part of, I did these boot camps, I think 3 times. And, um, but
But if I walk my dogs, I consider that a workout. It's really not. Let's be real. I mean, if I walk the dogs up and down the driveway, I'm like, oh, I walked today. Granted, my driveway's a quarter mile long. So I guess if I go twice, right, I got a whole mile under my belt. But I consider that, oh, well, I walked the dogs today.
but that's
You
some
know,
kind of activity though.
I
No, it
guess.
doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like
But it's really
vigorous.
not for me though. See, when you know your body, right?
Right.
I
Like
know
even
my
if you're
body. So
hitting the
my mind
ball
is like, right. My
and
mind gives that excuse that you did
right.
a workout today. And my body is like, you're a wuss. You're a puss. You didn't do shit. Stop trying to talk yourself into it.
Oh,
So yeah, my mind fights with my body with those things because I'm not a fan of the gym. I'm
yeah.
perfectly fine working out at home if
Mhm.
I do on my treadmill or outside of my driveway, whatever.
I
Playing
see a
basketball with
lot
my
of
son. I mean, I play basketball outside with my son. I got some exercise running after that ball.
Yeah.
I can't get it in the basket as my, I used to be able to play ball well, but you know,
Well, I think really, one of the things that I'm finding that the message that I give myself every day is to really give myself grace, a lot of grace,
yeah.
because I think we as society tend to really be hard, or we as women are very hard on themselves. I could have
Yeah,
done this. I could have been better. I could have did it this
absolutely.
way.
Hmm.
You could have like look fabulous, and it's like, oh, if I could just be five
Yeah,
pound 5 pounds less, or like
right.
there's always that narrative, and I'm kind of like, I'm at this age or this stage of my life that I'm like, that's exhausting to, be in that war within yourself. And so, I'm grateful because I'm around a community of pretty amazing, epic, powerful women who are very inspiring. Um, and so that, obviously fuels me. Um,
Hmm.
but but yeah, like I'm kind of like, okay, it's June, and this feeling of the tiredness, the fatigue is just gone
Hmm.
on for so long. It's like,
And you know what
oh,
though? I don't think we're alone in that. I hear it a lot
yeah,
lately. I've been hearing a lot of I'm tired or I can't sleep. I'm tired, but I can't
yes.
sleep. Or the allergies has been the worst conversation
Oh
I've
my
had with, I
God,
mean, multiple people, multiple people. So I think that it's just, you know
terrible.
what? The season is a season and
Yeah,
chalk it up to a season and move on. And that's what I do with everything. Like I just ate, if I just ate, I did not just eat a whole cheesecake, but if I did, right? If I ate a whole cheesecake, I'd be like, whatever. I ate this whole cheesecake and it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
season. That was a season. Move on.
Right, 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 right,
Go for
right.
a walk up and down the driveway.
Yeah, go for your little wuss walk.
My wuss walk. I'm headed down. My wuss walk.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to call it the wuss
So,
walk from now on. The
you
WW wuss
called it
walk.
the wuss walk, so I'm only repeating what
Hey,
you said.
well,
So
yeah.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna track, some of the things that I'm doing. That I when I am feeling really good, I need to track what I did so I could
Hmm.
stay in that momentum.
Yeah.
But I'm glad summer's here. I feel summer has arrived very early with these breaking temps.
Yes.
Yeah,
All over too. All over the place. Arizona's like 115, I think. It's been steady. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. So it's been, it's a fun time. It's a
yeah,
fun time. I gotta go get that vitamin D with all this sun.
yeah, girl.
Yeah. Although it's been thunderstorms because of this extreme heat. We've been getting like thunderstorms and rain. And then all
Yeah,
of a sudden
we're
here
getting
comes
a
the
lot of
sun.
it. Yeah, I mean, before it was like really dark and cloudy, and now the sun is pretty bright. It's
Yeah.
I don't know, Mother
Yeah.
Nature is I think she's on her own menopause too.
I think so too. We've had the sun shower. Today was a sun shower. I said, oh, it's raining and the sun's out.
Well,
How
what about
pretty.
yesterday? Did you get those really dark
It
storms?
was it was like nighttime in the
It
middle of
was
the
like 10
day.
p.m. Yes.
I look, I go, is it 2 o'clock? Oh my gosh, it's dark. Yeah.
It was around like 3:30, I want to say,
I might have got them
because
earlier than
I
you.
was on a webinar and I
Mm.
was co-presenting with some of my colleagues, and it got black, and I had to put my camera off because my expression, because I'm looking at the, my window across the way, and I was like my eyeballs were like super like wide. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? So I had to put the camera off. I was like a little kid, like, oh my God, what the hell is this? It's so dark. I had to check
Yeah.
the time. It's crazy. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyhow, I think the message here is to continue to give yourself grace and
Yeah.
recognize. I think
Yeah.
it's important to recognize. I know, like, you're really good at that. You know when you're off. You know what you need to do. I think we all are. I think we all know ourselves very well and can take our own
Yeah.
temperature.
It's just if we do it, right? If the
Right. Yeah.
detour is either going to control you or you are going to control your detour.
I don't like detours. So
I don't either, but they listen, it's truth, right? It is what it is. It's true.
it is truth, sister.
Just like my wuss walk, it is true.
Let's walk.
And I'm owning it. I am owning my wuss walk.
Well, I'm going to be taking a walk in the grocery store later. So
Oh, that's a wuss walk too.
it is. We'll be pushing my mom along in her the carriage,
Well,
wheelies around the.
If you're pushing her, then that's not very wuss like.
Well, she like weighs nothing. She's like light as a feather. It's like pushing nothing. But
pushing.
it'll be good.
Yeah, you'll have fun. It's bonding time in the grocery store.
Oh God. Yeah. Lord help me with that.
Will you enjoy that?
I shall. I will. I will enjoy that. I will.
All righty. All righty.
Well, thanks for chatting it up with me.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was fun.
Once again.
Yeah, I hope that our listeners got some value and can resonate with some of the things that we talked about today. Remember, give yourselves grace. Always find an accountability partner. I know that works for me too. And remember, everyone, you're listening to Web's Women,
where exposure brings strength.
See you next time.